Sharp and Hanley on this July 3rd. Thank you, Neil. Couple of things here. Jim says, according to IMDb,
Yes.
Heather Lynn is the name of a porn actress from the late 90s to the 2000s.
All time.
He said, parents don't name your daughter after a porn actress.
Sydney Steele out.
But Nick has discovered something.
Yeah.
That is not Brandy, Heather, Channing, Brianna, Amber, Sabrina, Melody, Dakota, Sierra, Vandy, Crystal, Samantha, Autumn, Ruby, Taylor, Tara, Tammy, Lori, Laura, Shelly, Chantel, Courtney, Misty, Jenny, Krista, Mindy, Noelle, Shelby, Trina, Reba, Cassandra, Nikki, Kelsey, Shauna, Jolene, Early, Claudia, Savannah, Cassie, Dolly, Kendra, Callie, Chloe, Devon, Emmy Lou, and effing Becky.
Yeah. Evan Becky? He goes, wait, is it 2 names? Yes. Oh, I got you, MFer.
This is, if you are familiar with Ted, they were talking about the white trash names. And so after John rattles all those off, Ted says, nope. John says, wait, was it any of the names with a Lynn after it?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, Brandy Lynn, Heather Lynn, Tammy Lynn, F.
Yeah. Oh, I got you. I just
That is a great family movie. If you're looking for something that everyone can enjoy,
it was
total white trash name.
It was on the other day. That's one of those movies that I will stop and watch now.
I am too. Yep.
The show on Peacock was worth it too.
So sorry.
I still have never gotten into that.
Oh my God.
So sorry to Heather Lynn out there, because I'm sure there are
yes, many white trash or whatever you want to paint that brush with.
But if
contributing members of society.
But if you have any of those names that I rattled off, you are not technically have a white trash name. So good on you.
Becky.
And while you're gathering for July 4th, playing the white trash name game, go get yourself some.
Yeah,
all right. Andy Staples of on 3, one of his 10 bold predictions yesterday. He said Nebraska will be 7-0 going to the Ohio State game.
Yep.
People forget there was one time when Mike Riley was on a nice little run and went into a game unbeaten.
Wisconsin.
So let me ask this to everyone. You know what the schedule is? I'm going to be weak sauce here. And I'm going to say, just for the love of God, be 1-0, because the program hasn't been 1-0 since 2019.
Yeah.
Just win the first game. And then it would be nice to win the second game, because that's definitely a game that matters. And then we can go from there. But I'm going to have my coach hat on. I'm going to say, just go 1-0. But I get it. I'm not oblivious to the fact that you can look at the schedule and look at
opportunities
and say Nebraska could be 7-0 going to the Ohio State game. So I ask all of you, with this said, because I think there's some reasonable people that listen to 1620 The Zone. Have you talked yourself into the spot where you would be disappointed if Nebraska was not 7-0 going to play in Columbus at the end of October?
Oh, I hope not.
No, I have not talked myself into that.
I get the sense that we're trending that way. Be very, very careful. Things that trend.
I feel people don't want to, but the more you hear it, the more we're just human. You start to buy into it, and it's July. So
now I've said this. It's from the standpoint of the offseason and Nebraska hanging a banner. This isn't coming from us.
No, it's not. This is national.
This is coming from national people who are yearning for Nebraska to be relevant in football. So,
and they like Matt Rhule.
At some point, you're like, wow, this is kind of nice. National guys like Matt Rhule. He's the best PR coach Nebraska athletics has ever had. And they're talking nicely about Nebraska. So Andy Staples, and this is a bold prediction. That's why they call it bold, and they call it a prediction of going 7-0. So anyone would be, I'm asking again, if Nebraska is not 7-0. Now, this is crazy because Nebraska hasn't been to a bowl game in 7 years, but being 7-0, if they're not, would you be disappointed?
And I wouldn't be.
Okay. Because the whole season, in my mind, comes down to the last 5 games.
Yep.
But I want to find this person. So if you are so bold that you're like, yeah, Nebraska will be 7-0, and I'm not discounting the possibility. I think this program, if they can get momentum, they have ingredients to start stacking Saturdays.
Yep.
Or sneaking a Friday in there. And they haven't really been able to do that where, all right, they got some momentum and here we go and you can feel it.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to find the person. And I might even buy you a sparkler.
Or some chicken.
Oh. Or go to one of these fireworks stands where we have some good partners on this radio station, like Cracklin' Kirk's.
Yeah.
And they do well and they do you right.
Yes.
But I was driving by a place the other day, and I'm enamored by the blow up gorilla or the
flailing arm guy
or the uncle. No. That one is like, man.
That's yesterday.
I'm into the gigantic gorilla or the gigantic bald eagle that's dressed as Uncle Sam.
Yep, there's big Uncle Sam's.
I would like to have that. Like I asked my local Hy-Vee, could I have the cutout of Mahomes and Caitlin Clark, and they said they were already spoken for.
Yeah,
but I asked. I mean, it doesn't hurt to ask. I would like one of those blow-ups at my house. Like I would like the 30-foot tall gorilla that tells me to come buy fireworks, because when I think of King Kong, I think of not the food, I think of fireworks.
Yeah, who doesn't?
But I was driving by this place the other day, and they're all over Omaha. I mean, the tents are everywhere. Buy one, get 4 free?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Seriously?
Do the fireworks stands, can you haggle with them?
I think so, yeah.
Because when I see buy one, get 4 free,
yeah,
I'm like, they're open for business.
Yeah,
and
nothing set in stone.
And I might walk out of there with a brand new car as well.
Yeah, they might have overbought, is what happened.
That's what I'm thinking.
They're looking to
and you got one day.
Unload a little inventory there, too. Yeah.
So that's the flex right there. You go right before.
It's
get a good deal.
Yeah.
Blow stuff up.
Or do you wait until like the last minute tomorrow when they have like a fire sale?
Yeah.
Well, or
buy one, get 10 free.
Or what we talked about, if say you're doing stuff for the weekend as opposed to necessarily tomorrow, you go on Friday, it's probably going to be a little bit more affordable too. And you buy one, get 4 free. It's my buy one, get 9 free.
But don't they have to close at midnight on July 4th?
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay.
Because
it's not like the candy.
I mean, that's what the police love is firework complaints, and boy, they're out in your neighborhood just shutting down right and left.
They're patrolling left and right.
But I will go to your favorite fireworks stand and I will buy you a pack of sparklers, and then I will get you the little things that you throw on the ground and pop.
Yeah, snaps.
If you are true in this and you want to be bold, because Andy Staples was bold, for someone to be bolder, that Nebraska will.
Oh, hell no.
Okay, let me find you.
Yeah, I can't do that.
I mean, I'm searching for you. Because if you want to be bolder, and you can't be just, oh man, I'd like some sparklers for my kids. So yeah, Sharpie, yes. Is anybody willing to go 7-0 going in, 8-0 coming out?
No.
That's how a Saturday morning feels like after a night on the town.
How about this one? Could we be so bold to say the last 5 games starting with Ohio State, Nebraska gets out of that stretch 3-2?
I would take it. I think Nebraska starts 5-2. They finish 3-2. The season is 8-4. There you go.
That is bold.
Why is that bold?
No, it's bold in a way that it's in the 3-2, the last 5 game stretch, to finish above 500. When you have Ohio State, UCLA, you feel good about UCLA, especially being at home. But then at USC, home against Wisconsin, at Iowa, there's where you factor in the history with those schools, and Nebraska trying to get over the hump on those schools.
So what if you start?
I like 8-4.
What if you start 7-4 or 7-0, but you finish
1-4,
8-4?
It's disappointing because you went 1-4 in that stretch.
Or even let's say you start 7-0 and you finish 9-3. Wouldn't you be disappointed a little bit?
Yeah.
I know I'm being greedy here.
Because
this
then
is crazy.
Again,
this is crazy, and people in Iowa are blowing up the email box right now. Is like, you are you haven't been to a bowl game in 7 years. I get it. But that would mean a 7-0 start and a 2-3 finish against Ohio State, UCLA, which I am all out on this year's version of UCLA. Then your USC, Wisconsin, Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
This season comes down to the last 5 games.
Yep.
The last 5 games bumps you to 25. So if you start 7-0 and you finish 8-4, you're like, aren't we the same team? Aren't we the same, not same team, but same path of success where, okay, we beat all the teams we're supposed to. But the games that matter probably came up a little bit short.
Yeah.
So I would take 5-2 and then 3-2.
Mm-hmm.
And that gets you to 8-4. Because I will tell you, if you win 3 games in there, let's say UCLA is one of them, then you've knocked off either Ohio State, USC, Wisconsin, or on the road at Iowa.
Yeah, 2 of those teams outside of UCLA. You've gotten either Ohio State, Southern Cal, Wisconsin, Iowa. So you've beaten, out of that, just put that 4 group. You've got 2 wins amongst them. Hell yeah. That's progress. That's big time progress. And I like that you said 5-2 as well, because I think that overall start would come with varying degrees of perspective because of the 7-0 conversation. But I think even people are saying, I'm not going to go all in on 7-0, but I think 6-1 is maybe where you start drawing your baseline of disappointment. So if it's anything less than 6, no, I'm not saying
we're doing that to ourselves.
I think at some point when you keep hearing, hey, 7-0 is possible, and you feel like, you know what, I'm this sounds funny, I'm realistic, I think 6-1 is probably more the reality. When it's like 6-1 would still be very, very impressive. Hell, 5-2 would be a good start considering where this program has been. The biggest progress that you could see, again, like you said, to springboard you into 2025, but more than anything, assuming your future is healthy in that last stretch run, if you're able to go above 500 in the last 5 games, isn't that even more important than getting out to a 7-0 start? Now, I know you could be like, well, what if they're 1-6? Okay, well, we got a different conversation going on. But still, if you can show against that schedule in the last 5 games that you can take 3 out of those 5 with that group, sans UCLA, that's something right there. That's progress more so than starting the season out at 6-1, 7-0, in my opinion, because of the schedule. Because, yes, there is something to be said about being able to win the games that you feel like you should be able to win if you're the program that you aim to be. Like,
win home games, win games that matter is a start to moving forward.
Yep. And being able to take a Wisconsin and Iowa or Southern Cal.
That you're supposed to.
Yeah, I agree. So I would take a 3-2. Absolutely.
9-4 this season would feel so much different than 9-4 in 2016. Completely different.
Big time.
And that team started 7-0 as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then the bottom fell out. When they started to play teams that were better, they had a hiccup. Lost in overtime at Wisconsin. Bad call. Why is it always one call late in the game in Madison?
That's a good point, actually. Well,
I mean, a pass interference on
the pass,
Xavier Betts in the end zone.
But I would also,
I wouldn't say a call in the overtime loss. I mean, that was just a guy didn't make a play. But then last year, maybe a trip. I don't know if Mike Hastings would say, our guy probably should have got 2 in the box. But then you got blown out at Columbus, and you remember you got just clobber snockered in Iowa, where it was more to it. But ironically,
I think George Quincy is still right
comparing 2 9-4 seasons.
Yeah, it's not how you finish.
They would book in bowl game trips from 16 and then 24. 43 past the hour. Anything else on that? Comments about this? There's also season. So there are a list of coaches, there are a list of pressure points, and there's PJ Fleck, who is in the news this morning. And also a question on a name. We just played the name game with white trash names. Sorry, anybody that's got one after the first name. I mean, I don't judge.
I can say nobody in my family does.
I mean, I'm not going to ask where you live. But should we really be calling somebody a certain name that they're of age? It came up yesterday as we fawn over him. It's 44 past the hour. Brian Edwards, Brandon Vogel, a little bit later on 1620 The Zone.
More with Gary and Nick after this.